Thank you, Martina, whoever that was. You guys unmute yourselves and let's show some Mary Kay love to our guests tonight who are in the house. So excited.
Say it loud because you got to speak to him.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you just fine. Your mic is working now.
I bet.
All right. I'm going to spotlight you in just a second. We're going to keep welcoming people in as I assign some co-hosts. Co-hosts, you know your job. If somebody unmutes or you know what to do. Co-hosts, so we get a nice, clean recording. We are going to get to start our interview in just a minute. And I am so excited about this artist and really, truly, you guys getting to know someone.
Great, by the way.
What'd you say?
You look great, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I cleaned up nice from the time that we did our own little video call and I looked homeless, huh?
No.
Well, I am so excited, you guys. He didn't even really know anything about Mary Kay. So he has no idea what he's even in for. Some crazy lady dropped in his DMs and he responded. And that's how this all came about.
She didn't expect me to respond.
What'd you say?
She didn't even expect me to respond.
I did not expect you to respond because who does that? I didn't even expect me to actually message you because I don't do that either. Like I never have done that. But when I looked at the song, it had just dropped 8 days before. And most of you guys know who Dr. Lorinda King is. She's #1 for our company and she's in Savannah, Georgia. And we were on this call, only about a dozen of us, a little more than a dozen of us were invited on this call for leaders. And she ended it with her training. She said, I want you to listen to this song. It's a brand new song. Listen to this song. And she played it. And by the time she was done, we all had snot-faced tears coming down our face, like could not stop crying. It was so powerful. And I thought, I'm going to follow him. I got to find who he is. So I found him on Instagram and I don't know what came over me. But that night I private messaged him and was like, I don't even remember what I said, something crazy, probably like, would you like to do an interview with me? And I didn't even expect him to message you guys. I didn't even check you guys know I'm horrible with checking messages on Instagram. It took me days to even go. I was looking for something else and I was like, he responded. Oh my God, I shouldn't have left him on hold like that. And that's how this whole, was it 2 weeks?
It was like 2 weeks.
Why are you gonna call me out like that? I was just gonna say a few days.
We're not gonna lie to people, but
it was like 2 weeks. I was probably sending Latrice some silly reel that from a joke or something. And then I saw his message and was like, oh my gosh, he responded. Let me give him my real number so that way I can actually get the messages. And then I asked him if we could do a private video call. And just to get to know him, because at that point in the 2 weeks it was 2 weeks, you're right. Because I had found you on YouTube, scrolled through all your Instagram. I was like, okay, I love the message of this song, but let's see, is he the real deal? Is he really who he says he is? And so I looked at all your past posts and I was like, wow, okay. If he's even 10% of what he says he is on his socials, he's somebody that I want to put in front of my people. And then it was supposed to be, I was like, can we just do 15, 20 minutes? I think we were on the phone for like 45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, we were, yeah.
That phone, Instagram video call. And I was like, okay, the right call was made. You have to meet more people. More people need to hear your story. And you guys, I know a lot of you don't know how monetizing on certain things work. How many views have you gotten so far?
Collectively, over 3 million.
Collectively. Mm-hmm.
Over 3 million.
Over 3 million. Now your volume is a little low. I don't know if you can turn the volume up on your mic just a little bit. Over 3 million, you guys. When I first
testing 1, 2, 3. Let's do that again. Testing 1, 2, 3.
It's getting louder. It's getting louder. You're getting better.
We're getting louder. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Over 3 million views collectively, you guys. But if it's not on his YouTube or his Instagram or his TikTok, it's not quite the same.
The money.
He doesn't get the money. The people sharing it, getting all those million views, get the money from their YouTube. That's not right at all. And so when I was listening, I was like, okay, I know some ladies who know how to spread the word. That's all we do is network marketing. And so I'm going to share my screen for this real quick, but also I'll share it again at the end. First of all, we want to show some love like we know how to do in Mary Kay. And if you feel inclined, you can definitely Cash App. Thank you, Chatone, for starting that off already today. But follow him and subscribe. Hit the little bell and subscribe on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure it's not I am, because I am on Instagram is a total different guy. Whole another person. And then Twitter, so that you can follow, subscribe, do all the things that will make a difference. All right, I'm gonna hold that up there for just a minute. Subscribe to YouTube. Thank you, Christy. Yes, you can absolutely pull it up and do it right now. And so I'm gonna go ahead. I think we've given everybody enough time now to get on, so that way we can start the interview, because we weren't even going to do the private concert thing. We were just going to play the song, but yeah. Man,
a whole different setting here. You know
I know we got a whole studio situation.
I'm outside for real. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm inside, but I'm outside.
Yeah, we outside now. We outside, vaccinated and outside. All right. So to get this started, I want them to know who I know you to be. So tell everybody who Gifted Hands is, and how that name even came about.
Okay, well, my name is Gifted Hands. Can you guys hear me clearly? Okay, my name is Gifted Hands. My real name is Emmanuel Mitchell. Some people call me Manny. Some people call me Tom. And that's neither here nor there. But I've been doing music since 2008. My older brother introduced me to music when he was 15, I was 13, and he was making beats on our mother's Apple computer, making beats on GarageBand. And he came over to me and was like, I want you to rap this, because he didn't want to rap it. And so he brought me over to the computer, and I just started rapping there because my big brother had told me to. And over the years, I was able to get better at it, because I started writing for myself at 15 when I was having suicidal thoughts and depression, and music became a creative outlet for me to stay alive. In 2012, when I was doing Christian hip hop, my church family coined me with the name Gifted Hands. I'm not sure why, but maybe they were being funny then. No, they weren't being funny. But God showed me over the years that he had to give me that name, because I always figured that I needed hands to help people. I always thought that everyone around me belonged in the world because they had hands. And so I grew up with envy, I grew up with jealousy, a little bit of bitterness, and God just showed me that even though I don't have physical hands that you can see, when I create a song, or when I speak, or when I do anything that God is calling me to do, I can reach out and pull your spirit up with my gifted hands.
And you guys, we did rehearse this. He was like, I don't even really want to know, until we were right about to start what the questions were, because he said, I just want to be able to speak, from my heart. And I had not asked you that before during the private interview.
It has to be authentic.
It does have to be authentic. So what inspired you to write the song, Why Not Start?
Oh, Why Not Start came from sheesh. I told God that I would be more vulnerable this year. And when I got my confidence back, because I had keloids on my ears for the past 5 years, and I was finally able to get them removed back in January. So ever since January, I've been saying, I'm outside. So I started to be more proactive with my music in January and like do car raps and whatever. And I won a free video. The video that's got 100,000 views right now. I won that back in January when I did a car rap. And I was only posting something every 2 weeks. And when it was around the time where like the 2 weeks was coming up where I would post something, I was like, okay, well, I think I want to use that video now. Let me come up with a song that's like really catchy and that's really like people will turn up to or whatever. So I had like a fast paced beat. And I was listening to the submissions of the videos on that platform. And I noticed that there were a couple of videos where artists sounded like this, and a couple of videos where an artist or a group of artists sounded like that. And so I prayed to God. I said, Lord, please help me fill in the gap. Because when people come and look at us as Virginian artists, I want them to be able to see and hear the versatility that we have. I don't want them to think that we're all the same or we all sound the same, because we as Virginians, we have talent and we like can really show the world that we really do this, right? And so God had me switch the beat. Like my engineer is standing like a few feet away from me, and I had booked a session with him for like Monday, and God had me switch the beat on like Friday. And I was like, well, Lord, you know, if you're gonna have to use this beat, the song's gonna have to be like vulnerable. I'm gonna have to say some things that I'm not sure I want to like the world to hear right now. And God, like in my spirit, said, well, you said you were gonna be vulnerable this year, weren't you? And so I was like, I mean, I guess I did, but I guess, I mean, sure, I'll be vulnerable, but you're gonna have to give me the words to say, because I've always prayed that my music be powerful, purposeful, positive, and timeless. And so I was like, Lord, whatever it is that you want me to have on this song, please help it be something, I guess, that will help people, but that will still fill in that gap that needs to be filled in for Virginian artists. And so he literally, I never know how to explain it, but God's my ghostwriter. And so I really don't really write any of my songs. God just gave me the words. He lets me hear the beat, then he gives me flows, he gives me cadences, I hear syllables, and then he just gives me the words to fill in. And so Why Not Start just came from me praying to fill in the gap.
So what obstacles, because the song talks about just some of the struggle, but also a shift in a mindset. You talk about the struggle, but you talk about it from a perspective of a person who looks at those things differently now, who's overcome the challenges or coming out on the other side of them. So what obstacles and challenges have you had to overcome, and what have you learned from them?
I mean, a lot of the obstacles have been internal. It's been the depression, it's been suicidal thoughts, it's been me not believing that I would live past 25. You know, at the age of 16, I read this article. I don't even remember where it came from, but it said that Black men don't live past the age of 25. And it's that stuck with me. And so from that age all the way up till last year, I made decisions that were like subconsciously like, I don't care because I'm gonna die.
Isn't that crazy how we can get in our own head? And from one article, we can shape, or one person says to us, it can redefine how we see ourselves from there on out.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was just like in everything. I never thought that I would be able to live, so I never planned my life out, you know? And I would tell everyone else, you have the chance to live. You know, let me give you encouragement and pointers on this, this, and this, because I'm gonna be gone soon. Like I've always thought that 25 is old because I never expected to live past it. And so I literally just started my life 6 months ago. Like I broke down during Thanksgiving and I told my family that, I don't know what God has planned for me. I don't know why I'm even trying because nothing is real for me. I see everyone around me. I still see everyone around me at the age of, I was 26, and I'm like, I can't sit here and get a regular job like everybody else can. Like, I can't sit here and like proactively, I guess, use my hands, like to make you get fed up with one thing and you're like, okay, well, I'll make it work with something else. And I'm like, I have to be very strategic with everything I'm doing. So I'm like telling my family that isn't going to work for me. And I just broke down and cried. And my cousin had, uh, first of all, put my cup of liquor down because I was drinking at Thanksgiving. And she had told me, um, like the following day, she was like, I want you to come up with me to Maryland, and I want like just talk to you and just show you that your life doesn't have to be over. Like your life is nowhere near like ending. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to broaden your horizons. You just have to see what's possible. And so I still had keloids, and insurance wouldn't cover it because they considered it cosmetic. And I always heard over the years that if you get removed by the wrong people, they grow back and they'll go back bigger. And so I'm in a depressive state because I don't want to be seen by other people, but I'm at home by myself and I don't want to see myself. So I don't want to look in the mirror. I don't want to see my reflection. And so when I went up to Maryland with my cousin, we had like this long talk, and she was saying like, you're not even doing everything that you can. Like you're waiting on other people to make phone calls that you could be making in the spare time that you have, in all of the time that you have. And so I made a phone call that night when I went up to Maryland with my cousin, and I scheduled a consultation for a surgery place that my mom had been looking into for like the past couple of years. And that same week, I got a loan from my bank, I secured a loan. I had the credit, but I didn't because I'm on like SSI because I can't get a job. I didn't have the income requirement, so I had to go back in and do it with my mom as a co-signer. And so I had got a loan from the bank, and then I got my surgery scheduled, and like from there I was like, oh wow, things are possible. And so I started planning different things. Like I was like, okay, I told my cousin, I said, I want to put myself in therapy, because I've always struggled with like depression, suicidal thoughts. I've struggled with intrusive thoughts. I've struggled with just not valuing my own life. And so I want to seek help on that. And I want to go back to school, and I want to do music. I started planning things out 6 months ago. And
You started living.
yeah, I started, just to be transparent, I don't think in my head I'm living yet. I feel like I'm pushing towards living. And that's just me. I know everybody keeps saying that I am living, but I see this picture of life with me being fully independent or self-sufficient, and that to me is living. You know, um, I just want to be real with y'all. Um, but I started my life 6 months ago, and that's what this song is about. It's about me going through my whole life not thinking that I would live. It's about me going through my whole life and seeing that everybody else had something that I didn't, and I didn't think that I would be effective, helpful. I thought I would be just a burden. I thought I would just be a person who's taking up space in the world. And I mean, God has shown me piece by piece since I was a kid that I have purpose, but now he's showing me it's so real because I have the right motives, I have the right heart, and everything that I'm doing isn't specifically for me. It's to show millions of other people, or thousands, or hundreds, or just tens, that wherever you are in life, regardless if you've made every decision the wrong way, regardless of if everybody around you has told you that you can't do something, your life could be going in one direction. You can wake up the next day, you can blink and open your eyes and say, that's enough. My life is going to change right now. And because you go through so many things that hurt internally and that hurt to see externally, you want everything to change all at once. But I'm consistent with telling people that it's one day at a time. This is going to take consistent decisions. The consistency in saying that, okay, I've done things like this my whole life. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to do that one thing different. And when I'm consistent with that, I'm going to do the next thing different. And it snowballs into I've changed my life. I've changed the type of person who I am, like the type of person I am. I've changed my entire generation. I've broken generational curses. I've changed my family's course. And that it just, I'm just out here to just say that it's possible because I've lived it. I'm living it and I'm pushing to live. And I know that was a very long-winded answer, but I just
No, I'm just not even interrupting you because I'm like, why didn't I bring my Kleenex? I know I'm a crier. Why am I trying to keep my makeup cute and not snot face cry all over this right now? This is like nothing what we even talked about when we talked privately. This is
I
so
told you I don't
good.
rehearse this. I can't rehearse it.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if you're even looking at all the comments. I'm going to scroll. I'm just going to say
No, I
some
don't
of
have my
them.
glasses on, guys. So
Okay. I mean, there's too many for me to read, but it is like, oh my gosh, I relate so much. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story. This is amazing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. George Williams is visiting from Canada. He says the world needs gifted hands. What an honor to be
shout
here.
out
What
to
a
you.
story.
Shout out to all of y'all. I love you.
Building brick by brick, designing your life. Completely understand. I connect mentally and emotionally so much with this. So many emojis crying. There's more happiness in giving. Enough is enough. I have chills. Doors are opening. I feel you. Your happiness has just begun. Living for yourself will start when you stop living for others. God will lift you up when you're ready.
Yeah.
Consistent decisions. Mic drop. It's about a decision.
Yeah.
There's just so many. I mean, holding back tears, snowball effect, important answer, change is possible. So blessed to be in this space.
I appreciate all of you, man. It just like I want you to know. I know you didn't ask me another question yet, like, but I just feel like it's very important to know that if you've gone through your life hating yourself or disliking yourself, it's okay to inch by inch love yourself.
Mm.
Because that's not going to happen in one day. Like it took me years to realize that, okay, I'm okay with having one arm. I can't change it. There's nothing I can do that's going to make me grow another arm. Great. And there's nothing I can do that's going to change the fact that I can't sit here and get another job. I can't sit here and be like everybody else. It took years. And for the past 5 years, I had keloids on my ears that damaged my confidence. And so I couldn't look in the mirror. And when I went outside, I was like pushing to be happy. You know, I was forcing smiles because I didn't want anyone around me to be affected by anything that I went through. And so I want you to know that it's okay to love yourself inch by inch. If you have to look at the left side of your face before you look at your whole face, do it. Do it. If you have to tell yourself, I love me every single day until you believe it, do it. Because it's very important that you love yourself because you're the only one who has to live with you. You live in your skin. And I don't know, it had to be God who has kept me alive for this long to even get to this moment to sit here and talk to you guys. But I love me now. And I hated myself for years. I disliked how I looked. I disliked the fact that I've gone through so much rejection. I've disliked the fact that I can't be who my big brother is. I can't be who the people around me are. That I have to be me. I hated that. If you're feeling that way, or if you know anybody that's feeling that way, let them know, let yourself know. I'm telling you right now, inch by inch. It's okay to love yourself inch by inch. And let me start by saying, I love you. I love you. And it's going to be okay. You just have to take it one day at a time. I'm still taking it one day at a time. Like, because I'm growing into, oh, I am living. I am. Okay. Well, then let me continue to push. And you don't need 1,000 people to love you. You don't need 100. You need you. You deserve you. You deserve your love. All right, okay.
Ooh, my good. Folks is snot face crying. Now I'm not the only one crying. Somebody was like, could you tell someone in your house to get you a tissue because you're crying so much or whatever. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I
So
just feel like that was very important to say.
what'd you say?
I just felt like that was very important to say.
It was so powerful. It was so powerful. And people in every season of life need to be reminded of that. Every season of life. So my last question, what's next for you? What's next for Gifted Hands?
Living is next. Living is now. But everything that I guess God has planned for me in my future is based on the decisions I make, based on if I continue to show God that I trust him, if I continue to show God that I'm going to have the right motives and the right heart with people. I can't tell you exactly or specifically what I'm going to do. I can tell you what I want. I definitely want to get out here and perform. I definitely want to be on the biggest stages in the world and the biggest platforms in the world, but not just for me. It's just to pour into people and to show people that like it's okay and that you can live. Like I've gone through my whole life not thinking that I would live, and look at me, I'm 27. I'm 27 years old and I feel like I'm living for the first time or having the chance to live for the first time at 27. And so regardless of if you're older or younger, I just want you to know that it's possible. You just have to sit here and make the decision that I'm not going to be in my own way. I'm not going to try to solve my problems by self-medicating. I'm not going to try to solve my problems by blaming everyone else. I'm not going to try to solve my problems by ignoring them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to face everything head on, regardless of how hard it is.
Mm.
And yes, I may slip up. I'm human. Yes, I may slip back into old ways more constantly than I want to. But I'm human. And every time I get up and just try or just do, that counts for something. Every inch of faith I have in God, in my purpose, in my life, in me, it counts. It counts. The love you give the next person, it counts. Regardless of what you're going through. No one deserves to be affected by the pain that you're going through. So what's next for me is just being who God wants me to be. And of course, pursuing the things that I have on my heart and just pouring into people.
Okay. So I know there are some amazing people here in this room, and everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So I don't know what it's going to take to get you to the next stage, the next platform to share a message, but I bet there are people here who know people who know people who know people who put people on stages somewhere. And so we're just going to do our part to keep spreading the word of who Gifted Hands is. And the connections matter. So without further ado, you ready?
I live for this.
I'm going to mute myself. Everybody make sure you are muted so that we don't get any extra background feed. And how incredible that we are getting an actual private performance. I mean, who gets that? A private performance for us. Your screen, I don't know who's doing your engineering, but your screen just turned off. I think they probably did that on purpose to set up. I'm so excited. If you guys have not listened to the song, please download it. YouTube Music or iTunes, you can download it. That's another way to support, and so that he gets credit for that. But we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to download it. I'm so excited. I love this song. It is literally how I start each morning. It's how I start the day, listening to this song and the words to it. So tell me, all right, you ready? Oh, look, we got a real stage, a real stage. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself. You take it over.
Oh, you can hear me?
Can hear you just fine. Please welcome Gifted Hands performing his viral song, Why Not Start.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever you are in the world. I'm telling you now, I don't care if it's a race, I'ma set my own pace on my mark. Ready, set, go. I'm ashamed that I used to shift the blame when I hadn't done my part. Like say it ain't so, barely even took the time to just stop and use my mind on try hard. That was before, but now I figure why not start? Hey, the biggest smile on my face when I'm around. You can't really tell that I'm hurting. Ready to do my best without the public, keep my head concealed down. But deep inside I feel like a burden. Everybody steady in my ear saying I should keep going. Now realizing that my heart is torn. Some days I wake up excited cause I know exactly what I'm doing. Other days I still wish I wasn't born. But it's cool cause I've dealt with the pain. If I wasn't so solid then I would melt in the rain. And the cycles I was in ain't do nothing but just keep on repeating. So I felt insane and I held tight to my selfish ways. Wouldn't see help cause I would self-medicate. But when you look at at me, just know that it's never too late. That's why I'm telling you now. I don't care if it's a race, I'ma set my own pace. So mama, ready, set, go. I'm ashamed that I used to shift the blame when I had done my part. Like say it ain't so. Barely even took the time to just stop and use my mind or try hard. That was before, but now I figure why not start? I figure why not start? Hey, safe to say I found my rhythm. Don't you dare feel sorry for me, I am not a victim. We got problems and we fix them. It's just for me, music navigates the pain out my system. Beating my odds, I love that. If I ain't learning my lessons, then I mustn't have had enough yet. And Lord knows I can't be upset, cause every single time somebody tries to help, I change the subject. Force myself to go it alone. I'm surprised I haven't broke any bones. Take it easy, they don't even need to see me like this. I hid myself at home and I held tight to my selfish ways. Wouldn't seek help cause I was self-medicated. But when you look at me, just know that it's never too late. That's why I'm telling you now. I don't care if it's a race, I'ma set my own pace. So mama, ready, set, go. I'm ashamed that I used to shift the blame when I had done my part. Like say it ain't so. Barely even took the time to just stop and use my mind or try hard. That was before, but now I figure why not start? I figure why not start? I'm telling you now. I don't care if it's a race, I'ma set my own pace. So mama, ready, set, go. I'm ashamed that I used to shift the blame when I had done my part. Like say it ain't so. Barely even took the time to just stop and use my mind or try hard. That was before, but now I figure why not start? I figure why not start? Hey, I don't care if it's a race, I'ma set my own pace. So mama, ready, set, go. I'm ashamed that I used to shift the blame when I hadn't done my part. Say it ain't so. Barely even took the time to just stop and use my mind and try hard. That was before. Now I figure why not start. I figure why not start. Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Why not start? Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You
Beautiful.
blessed this whole group here of people cheering for you. Thank you. Thank you, Gifted Hands. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my, he is awesome. Look up Gifted Hands.
Gifted hands,
He
gifted
sang.
brain, gifted mind, gifted lyrics, gifted voice.
Sorry.
Thank you.
He's saying he's a singer.
I want to share our screen to show you guys one more time how you can support him. Please go to Cash App, open your Cash App. If you don't have Cash App, you can Venmo me and I will forward it to him. Cash App $ I'm Gifted Hands. Follow him on TikTok, I'm Gifted Hands. YouTube is just Gifted Hands. Instagram is I'm Gifted Hands and Twitter is I'm Gifted Hands. And look for his song on he just added his live performance on his YouTube. So let's like his song on his YouTube so that he gets some of these 3 million views for his own account. My goodness, what an incredible, incredible moment that we got to experience. We get to say we knew you win. We met you win because you're already blowing up. It's been about 2 months since the song, not even 2 months since the song is out, and it's over 3 million. You are incredible, incredible. So grateful. Any parting words you want to share before I let you go?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine now.
I just want you guys to know that God is real. God is great. Do the work and keep the faith.
Woo! One more time, unmute yourselves. Let's show him some love as he leaves. Thank you. We're gonna post everywhere that you got the invitation to this. You will also see this post with all the information. Thank you. You have an incredible night. I know it's later there, I can't wait to watch you grow. I can't wait to watch you take over stages all over the world, not just this country, outside of Virginia. And when you come out to LA, you know we gonna hook up, meet up. We're gonna get to have some face-to-face
You
real
already
time.
know, 'cause we outside for real. You already know that.
I told you you're young enough to be my son, and I think of I want to be one of your internet aunties that get to
Yeah.
support you in any way that you can. You've
That's
got
great.
all these people in here ready to love you,
appreciate it.
embrace you, and network for you.
I appreciate you.
You won't never have to worry about Uber money to get to a performance again.
Hey, stop playing, you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have limos picking you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Limos picking you up. You keep speaking and affirming what you want to see more of. Be specific, be clear, because
Mhm.
that's how goals are met. People come
Absolutely.
together to make that happen for you.
Absolutely.
All right. You have a good evening. You guys have an incredible evening. Private message me if you would like his P.O. box so that you can send cards, love, but make sure you show, you guys know we're in business. We are business women. We know the best way to show appreciation right now is some cash in the Cash app. So let's show a little appreciation. He won't say it. I'm gonna be real and say it though. He's like, no, we don't need to. I'm like, yes, you are not gonna be struggling trying to get Uber money to go somewhere. Well, not when we got all these women here. We are business when we understand that, and we appreciate you and can't wait to see you blow up even more than you already are. Have an
you very
incredible
much.
life. Keep living, Emmanuel.
Thank
Keep
you.
living.
Thank you.
Good night, ladies. I'm going to play the song as we head on out so that way you guys can blow up the chat, and the chats will all be saved so that way he can read them later. I'll make sure to send the chats over to him one more time for Gifted Hands, you guys. Have an incredible night. Thanks for joining us.
Say it ain't so. I'm telling you now, I don't care if it's a race, I'ma set my own pace on my mark. Ready, set, go. I'm ashamed that I used to shift the blame when I hadn't done my part. Like say it ain't so, barely even took the time to just stop and use my mind or try hard. That was before, but now I figure why not start? Hey, the biggest smile on my face when I'm around. You can't really tell that I'm hurt.